All right, just a few highlights from our live trading chat room at GreatStockPicks.com on Wednesday. SHZ, I found this last night. I've been shying away from these rare earth calls. They've been a little too crazy for my taste. But this had fallen from almost 11 down into the 7s in about a week time. So I couldn't help but think this could be, a possible good bounce watch. And you can see there, it gapped up a little bit but gave a nice trade. Now, let me switch to 5-minute candles and show you what I was looking at when I called it this morning. It's always interesting to see how the chart looked at the time I called it. Early high of 818, and then it sold down to 8 but was climbing back up, so I put on an alert to our chat room and also set it over the microphone. 819. In other words, if it breaks its early high, worst case stop below 8, this could get a nice move because it's so beaten up. And look what happened in 5 minutes. 819 to 850, and then within about 30 minutes, almost up $1. Remember, the initial risk was 20 cents, but it really wasn't, because that's just your line in the sand in your mind when you take the entry. But this thing, 20, 25 cents immediately in our favor. And so then, we start paying ourselves, get to a break-even stop on the rest. So you've got a can't-lose trade, and then you just scale out the rest of the way. Nothing like having a green trade and a can't-lose trade. And I strive to do that on every trade I call. Try to get a move in my favor. Most of what we call should, in theory, move pretty quickly if we were right. So we do get pretty quick feedback, and so anytime I take a trade, I try to get that initial move, sell some, and then it becomes a can't lose trade. And that's a lot of my members will tell you that's a great feeling, and I'm sure you've had that as well. So another one, these are 5-minute candles on MBI. I don't know, you can see a lot of yesterday's trading. I don't know if you traded yesterday, you saw this crazy move in MBI, and this is the 5-minute candle where it opened today. So it sold off a little bit, but really stayed in a pretty narrow range for the day. Let me get those off there. And then I turned on the projector, which pops up on our member screens, and showed everybody this little base here. And I said, after yesterday's crazy action, this has stayed in a fairly narrow range. If it can break this base, it could get through the high of the day, and which would be up here. And if it gets through the high of the day, you could have shorts covering, and people that shorted this thing after this crazy move, and also some longs piling in, when they see MBI lighten up the new highs ticker again. So if we can catch this base break, and then it subsequently takes out the high of the day, we can kind of ride that up and sell to the people that are chasing it. So that was the theory. And as I scroll to the right, it took about 10 minutes, and then it did break that base and rip through the high of the day. And in about a 5-minute candle, went up well over 50 cents. I think I called it at 13.54, and it went to 14.14. So what is that, a 60-cent move in about 10 minutes. And as always, once again, we start selling into the pop and tighten up the stop on the rest. So that was pretty nice too. We did catch in that crazy BSDM. We did catch a nice move there. I called it originally right here with a low of day stop, which held. And then one of our members posted a news story that came out, which gave people that didn't take the original. I said I still liked it over the high of the day here because of the news. They placed another one of their machines. So this one's acting kind of weird. But the original call, 531, it went quickly to, 557 or something. Again, on a $5 stock, plenty of volume there. In 5 minutes, almost 500,000 shares. So, again, we were selling into that and caught another little trade in that one. Another example of things we try to do in our chat room, SOL, one of those solars that had already been up several days in a row, but these are 5-minute candles. This was today's. When I saw it making this move, we're pretty good at trying to catch capitulation on these moves, and so SOL, whenever I see this kind of crazy move, we call it a geyser because of the shape of it, or a waterfall if it's going the other way, but I like the increasing volume. Most stocks can't sustain this kind of move to the upside, so we've developed ways that we teach our members to fade these moves. Now, it didn't give a big sell-off, okay, but the short idea on SOL using the methods that we teach was 1139, so basically right there, and the stop was right there, I think 6 cents above. So from 1139, eventually it made its way down to 1107. Again, not a huge trade, but from 1139, really within 5 or 10 minutes, it was down to 1122, enough to put some money in your pocket and have that become a can't lose trade. So it's just another, you guys have seen us do this many times, where we try when we see something crazy like that to try to fade it. And, a lot of times we're able to catch these things within 5 minutes of the high of the day and fade them. So SOL worked out pretty well. And don't have a lot of other stuff from today. It was kind of a boring afternoon. If you traded today, you already know that. So I'm going to wrap this up, and we'll do another highlight video on Thursday night with what we call in our trading room tomorrow. So have a great night.